Good morning, student. Dear student, today we are going to start our fifth chapter, Characteristics of Indian Economy. In this chapter, we will study about what is Indian economy, characteristics of Indian economy. In the characteristics, we have 5 points. First, Indian economy and underdeveloped economy. Second, India as a mixed economy. India a developing economy. India a planned economy, and the last one is India a federal economy. So we will turn up all these points in our this particular session. Okay, now let us start with our today session. The very first question is, what is Indian economy? Dear student, before going through the natures, the characteristics, we have to understand that what is Indian economy. Okay, dear student, like every other economy, our Indian economy consists of all producing units or institutions such as farms, factories, workshop, mines, shops, railways, hospitals, school, colleges, office, bank, etc., which provide employment to its people on one hand and produce a variety of goods and services required by them regularly on the other. Okay, so we can see that like every other economy, our Indian economy have also the production units, also the institutions which provide employment and as well as produces goods and services for the people of a country. So this is our Indian economy. Okay, dear student, like every other economy, our Indian economy have classified, or our Indian economy are classified into three categories. The first one is primary sector. Okay, the first one is primary sector. The second one is secondary sector, and the third one is tertiary sector. So these are the three different sectors in an economy. Similarly, our economy have also consist all these three sectors. If you talk about the primary sector, the primary sector is the agriculture sector or allied activities. Okay, all the agriculture and allied activities are part of primary sector, like animal husbandry, forest, fisheries, okay, horticulture, bee farming, poultry farming, all these are part of primary sector, and the contribution of primary sector is around 12 to 13% in our Indian GDP. Okay, dear student, now the second point is our secondary sector. If you talk about the secondary sector, it is also known as manufacturing sector. All the manufacturing work like constructions related work are performed by this particular sector only. Okay, and the contribution by this sector is the second most in our Indian economy. Now the last one is our tertiary sector. Dear student, in tertiary sector we have transportation facilities, we have banking facilities, insurance facilities, communication facilities. All these facilities are given by the tertiary sector and also known as services sector. And in our Indian economy, this sectors gives the most contribution in the GDP. It's around 50%, or it's around 40 to 50%. Okay, in today's scenario. So services sector provides the largest contribution in our Indian economy. Okay, dear students, so before going to our characteristics and nature, let us understand this with the help of a diagram. In this diagram you can see that you have a pot. This is your Indian economy, and you have different flowers in this pot. This represents the institution and firms which you have. These institution and firms provide employment and goods and services to the citizens or people of a country. Like we have banking and insurance companies, we have railways and roads, mines, shops, factories, farms, ships, workshops, hospitals, school and colleges. All these are different institutions and firms. Okay, and they play a very important and crucial role in an economy. Okay, dear student, now let's move to our next part, which is characteristics of Indian economy. Dear student, as we all know that our Indian economy is considered as an underdeveloped economy, or sometimes it is considered as a developing economies, because this economy shows the characteristics of both underdeveloped and developing economies. So we will discuss this by step. First, we will discuss about Indian economy as an underdeveloped economy. Dear student, you all are familiar with the meaning of underdevelopment. What is the meaning of underdevelopment? Okay, or what is the meaning of an underdeveloped economy? As I told you earlier, that underdeveloped economy is the one in which there are low level of living. Okay, absolute poverty. Okay, just keep in mind that level of living is low, it means standard of living is low. Next is absolute poverty. Next is per capita income. Okay, the purchasing power of the individual is low. Okay, and the next one is low consumption level or poor health services. So these are the characteristics of an underdeveloped economy. Okay, I will repeat again: low level of living, absolute poverty, low per capita income, low consumption, okay, poor health services, depend on foreign economies. So these are the characteristics of underdeveloped economy. So let us discuss about India and in the context of India. Dear student, if you talk about our Indian economy, we have low per capita income. These are the characteristics of an underdeveloped economy, and these are the feature of our Indian economy. The first one is low per capita income. Okay, as I told you earlier, that per capita income how is the total income divided by population. Okay, your per capita income. If you talk about per capita income, then it is per capita income equals to total income of a country divided by total population of the country. Total population of the country. When you divide your total income of a country, when total income of a country is divided by total population, it is known as per capita income. So in underdeveloped economies like our India, our per capita income is low as compared to the developed economy. So you can see that per capita income of India has been estimated at 1940 US dollar in 2017. It is 1940 US dollar in 2070 against the per capita income of USA and UK, which is 59,532 US dollar and 39,720 US dollar. As you can see, the difference is too huge. So that's why our per capita income is low, and we consider as an underdeveloped economy. The next one is predominance of agriculture. As I earlier told you that every underdeveloped economy or every developing economy is have the keen feature of predominance of agriculture. It means the contribution of agriculture is too high in our country as compared to the other country. Dear student, just keep in mind this is the data which I giving you. Like in the earlier of my video I said that 13% contribution of agriculture. This is the current scenario. Now currently the contribution of agriculture is only 13% in our economy. And if you talk about 80s and 70s or 90s, talk about the 19th century or 17th or 18th century, at that time the contribution of agriculture sector is most in our economy. Dear student, also keep in mind that if you talk about agriculture, then the contribution in GDP by the agriculture is low. But dear student, most of the people in our country are still engaged in agriculture activity. Okay, just keep in mind that the workforce participation in the agriculture is too high as compared to the other sectors. So that's why the predominance of agriculture is a characteristics or is a nature of this economy. Next is inequality of income and wealth distribution. It simply represents that, like in our India, we have if a person is poor, then he is poor. If a person is richer, then he is a richer. So the gap between the poor and richer is too high. It simply represents the unequal distribution of income. Okay student, according to an estimate, the richest 20% enjoy 43.3% of the total income of our country. Okay, 20% of the richest people, and the poorest 20% took only 8.1% of the total income of India. So you can see the gap. Like top 20 poor people are getting 45.3% of the total income, and below 20 below 20% or the poorest 20% people get only 8.1% only of the total income. So you can see the gap is too high. That's why there is income inequality as compared to other countries. We have a more income inequality. Next is rapid population growth. You all are familiar with this particular term, that in talk about population growth, India is in second highest populated country in the world after China. So the population growth is too high in our country, and if population growth is high, then it simply represents the need of food, clothes, shelter, medicines, school also increases. And we know that we have limited resources, so with these limited resources it's not possible to fulfill the need of every individual. That's why we are an underdeveloped economy or underdeveloped country. Next point is low level of living. The standard of living in our country is low as compared to the other countries. Okay, because we have, you can see, we have poor people, we have undernourished children. Our children, as mostly our children are suffering from malnutrition problem and so on. As you can see, the average calorie intake of food in India is just 2496 calories as compared to 3400 calories per day in most of the developed nation. So in most of the developed nation like US, UK, the calorie intake is 2400 per day as compared to our India, which is 2496, which is 2496, and in most of the world countries it is 3400. So you can see the difference is too huge. Okay, you can see in world 3400 and in India 2496. So the gap is high. Okay, next is existence of chronic unemployment and underemployment. Okay, this is also one of the a key feature of our economy or our country, that mostly our people are unemployed, or we have the unemployment ratio in our economy is too high. Like Indian economy is characterized by the large mass of unemployment and underemployment. Second, the rapid growth of population among with inadequate growth of secondary and tertiary sector of the economy is responsible for this. We have a population growth, okay, population explosion in our country, but our services and tertiary sectors are not that much grow that they are grown in the developed countries. So we have to grow these sectors so that we can provide employment to our people. Next, according to the estimate, 8.2% of the labor force are unemployed and 21% are underemployed. You can see the data, which is too high, which represents that 8.2% of the labor force. Okay, suppose you have 10 people, okay, or you have 100 people. Out of that, 8.2% people you can consider as unemployed, and 21% people are underemployed in our country. Okay, underemployed means the person, suppose a person have a good degree and he deserve rupees 50,000, 60,000 monthly salary, but due to unemployment he is getting only 5,000, 6,000 as a salary. So this is known as underemployment situations in a country. So most of the people are unemployed or underemployed. Okay, dear student. Next is lack of entrepreneurs. Okay, according to Joseph Schumpeter, okay, has given a vital role of entrepreneur in his theory of growth. An entrepreneur is a person, you all know about the entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? Okay, who organizes, who manages, and who have the specialized task to perform duty, or it is a person, okay, who start who startup, okay, who perform his startup and he perform all the activities, okay, in an organization, all these essential activities. He is the specialist. Okay, so the production is full of risk and uncertainties. The task of bearing risk is called enterprise, and the person who bear these risk of business is called enterprise. Okay, according to the definition of Schumpeter. Okay, so we have low enterprises as compared to the developed country like England, US, Germany. They have a good entrepreneurs, or they have a good startup as compared to our country. Next is low level of technology. Generally we are using a low level of technology, and we are depend upon other developed countries for the import and export, for the import of technologies. Okay, as you can see that most of the technologies we have imported from other countries like western countries. We are totally depend on these countries for our war equipments, for our war goods. Okay, so the low level of technology is also the one of the important reason as India is an underdeveloped country. Next is underutilization of natural resources, and then is weak infrastructure. So these are the basic causes of underdevelopment. Like our natural resources are underutilized, most of the resources are underutilized. We are not that much capable that other developed countries are, because they have good technology, so they can use their resources in a best manner as compared to India. We have a low tech level of technology. That's why we are we are wasting our resources, and we are not utilizing our resources in such a manner that these countries are using. So we have to grow our resources, we have to develop our techniques of production, so that we can fully utilize our natural resources, and our due to which our employment is increases, due to which our output increases, so that our income or our nation becomes a developed countries, or become a developing countries. Okay, now next is weak infrastructure. Okay, weak infrastructure is also play an important role to become underdeveloped economy. Like our banking, electricity, insurance, health, education system are not as much capable as the developed or western countries. Now we are doing so much in these sectors, but still we have to do so much work on these sectors. Like we have to grow health sector, education sector, insurance sector, banking sector. So we have to do lot of work. Okay, then only we can overcome with this weak infrastructure point. Okay, now in the present position of infrastructure facilities in country is far from satisfactory. For instance, there are just 24 kilometer of railway lines per 1 lakh population in India. So you can imagine, for 1 lakh people there is 24 kilometer of railway line. Okay, against 1163 kilometer in Canada. If you talk about Canada, then there is per 1 lakh population the kilometer of railway is 1163. Okay, against in India there are 3141 kilometer long road per 1 lakh population, which is about 1/10 of developed countries. So dear student, we have to develop ourselves, we have to develop our country. Okay, then only we become the part of these developed countries. So we have to improve our infrastructure, like our road, dams, building. Okay, our railway facilities, our construction of the dams, constructions of the road, streets. Okay, so we have to do lot of work in our infrastructure development, then only we will become the part of the developed countries. Okay student, now our next point is India as a mixed economy. Dear student, Indian economy is a mixed economy. There is coexistence of public and private sector. You all are familiar that Indian economy is a mixed economy. We have the characteristic of a socialist economy, we have certain characteristics of a capitalist economy. So India is a mixed economy, because we have the coexistent role of both public sector and private sector. All the decisions were taken by the public and private sectors only. Okay, and our customers are sovereign. Sovereign means king itself. Okay, we can decide whatever goods we wish to buy. Okay, which brand you wish to buy, you can decide by your own. That's why your country is a mixed economy. Okay, now let's go to the point that industrial policy of 1948-56 formulated by the government of India have made the provision for their coexistence. Some strategies, basic or heavy industries are being run under the public sector. Okay, these industries are run under the public sector. Also there is a huge private sector under which a large number of industries are being managed, but the private sector is not completely free in operation. Be careful there, that the private sectors is not freely in operation. They work under the government operation, they work under the government. Okay dear student, so there in our Indian economy the decisions were taken by both private and public sector. Government control all the monetary decision, fiscal policy decision, and industrial decisions in our country. That's why our Indian economy is characterized as mixed economy, because we have the characteristics of both capitalist and a socialist economy. Okay dear student, that's it for today. In our next section we will study about India as a developing economy and India as a planned economy. Okay student, that's it for today class. Thank you, stay safe, stay healthy.